You know, for the new chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Mr. Ola Olukoyede, it's a baptism of fire. Operatives of the anti-graft agency besieged the headquarters of the Dangote Group of Companies in Lagos. The agency is beaming its searchlight on foreign exchange of FOREX allocations made to some 52 companies, including the Dangote Group. The suspicion is that former President Muhammadu Buhari never approved these FOREX allocations. For a country enmeshed in corrupt dealings, you wonder if the anti-graft agency can go the whole hog, Dotun. Can we go the whole hog?
Well, it's possible.
Okay.
But just like we discussed the last topic, this is not something that you begin today and expect the result.
Okay.
What has happened with Dangote yesterday is something that the country must be careful about, so that the impression is not given that businesses are going to suffer based on what some who are not insiders in that business have done. The new EFCC chairman actually made a promise when he came into office. And sincerely, I'm believing that he's going to keep it up. And we are going to see that from how he handles what happened yesterday with Dangote and going forward. One of the things we've always expected and which he promised was to be able to work on the mixed fund rules. Meaning that while a business is going on, legitimately, there might be some funds getting in that are illegitimate. We should be able to separate both so that we don't kill businesses. I can imagine if, because of what happened yesterday, Dangote says, okay, I'm taking the whole of my businesses out of Nigeria, then this economy is likely to collapse. The EFCC chairman, let me quote him before I go into the background, has promised that there is a need to redirect our focus towards what we were set up to do in Nigeria, which is to drive economic development. We will tilt our focus towards that area. We will work to drive economic development, create wealth and employment. And that is what the EFCC should be doing. Background information to what happened yesterday. As the EFCC team was raiding the headquarters of Dangote, staff of Dangote in the accounting department were in their office in Lagos, giving them documents that they again went in search of at the headquarters. This thing has been in the public domain for a while. They've requested of Dangote Group through a letter, give us all your transactions with the CBN since Godwin Emefiele got into office.
And till when he exited?
Until when he left. There was a back and forth, some of us learned, between the EFCC and Dangote. You gave them a specific time. You wanted it by January 10. They said, no, this is voluminous. It's about 8 years. And that is one area where, for me, I also think Dangote was at fault. All your documentation should be in a place where you can retrieve it at the touch of a button.
Yeah.
It's not something you say, EFCC has given me 2 weeks to produce this thing, and you are asking for 3, 4, 5 months. That's unbelievable.
Okay.
For a business that is that big.
Especially if you are operating honestly.
Yes, honestly. If there is nothing to hide.
Yeah.
But now let's even assume that they say this is for 8 years. And then they've brought you documents that covered the last 4 or 5 years and have requested, give us some more time. I think you want me to hold it there.
Yeah. We must go on a break. Dotun, let's make some money. It's a new year.
need it.
So we'll take this break and come back. Please stay with us. All right, then. Welcome back. Let's go back there. The EFCC, as we told you, is beaming its searchlight, or torchlight if you like, on 52 companies, including the mighty Dangote Group. And they want to get to the bottom of the matter. How did these companies get FOREX from the CBN under Emefiele? Yeah, Depo, you are.
Yeah, so if they had documents for 4 or 5 years, nothing stops you from going through those ones. They requested for a longer time. You can shorten it, but not like January 10. And then those staff were actually in your own office. When you left the place, went to the headquarters, locked the place up, and did what you needed to do. Or did they get any extra document after going there? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Because if this is what they have, then what you need to do is to put more pressure to get those things out faster so that documents are not tampered with.
Okay.
Which for me it's a good one.
Wale, but the typical Nigerian is not persuaded, if you ask me, by things like this. They would tell you something like, we have seen this before.
Yes.
Is this for the optics?
Well, I think I don't really want to focus on Dangote, but I want to look at the entire, general perspective in terms of what the EFCC is doing and the impact on investments, local and international investment. For me, I think the important thing that should guide us is that you cannot have sustainable development in a country where there's no law and order. People, no matter how big they are, they must be subjected to the law of the country. We have read so many stories in US, in Britain, big companies, Enron and all of them, many of them, I can't be mentioning all of them, they subject them to the rules of the game. If you are a bakery operating somewhere in Umuahia, the same law that guides you is the one that guides the richest man in the whole world. There's no favoritism. Don't let us say, because it is this man, then why should EFCC go there? EFCC should have the right to investigate any company, no matter how highly placed. And I think that is the best way we can enjoy confidence, both in the local and international community. So for one thing, I'm impressed about the fact that we are even talking about probing the CBN, which has never happened for several years. Because some of these big companies that, big names and all that, they are satellite of crime, the worst crimes you can ever imagine. Especially when you're talking about this FOREX thing. People who had big companies, they had this company. Little, ordinary men that are, at Alaba looking for $5,000 to import material. They don't get them. Somebody will have $1 million stocked in his factory, and then we go and sell to them. So we need to sanitize this FOREX industry if we really want Nigeria to transform to a respectable country all over the world. It does not matter whether people will begin to have misunderstanding, but once it is driven by transparency, that I want to sanitize the system, want to make the country more conducive for people to come and invest, and that their money will be safe. I think anybody, there must be law and order.
Essentially, because we are a country that has developed that penchant for not punishing bad behavior.
Yes.
People may not be trusting of the EFCC to go the whole hog, as I said.
Well, I think we cannot leave everything mechanically for the EFCC. The media also has a very important role to play. They have gone there now. It is our responsibility to follow up, to make sure we keep them on their toes. What has happened? What is going on? A journalist, from Daily, he went to Kutonu to expose crime. That's our responsibility. We should not leave it to EFCC alone. Yeah. In the next few days, we'll be asking EFCC what has happened. Give us more information about what the investigation we are carrying out about FOREX. And we should also do our own investigation. That's what the meaning of investigative journalism. So now they have opened up the window for us, for Nigerians. And we should take up that challenge that no matter how big a company is, that company must be accountable to the Nigerian people. I think that's the message.
Accountability, yes. But it must be seen that we are not politicizing some of these things. And why do I say so? Even in the case of Emefiele, who is being probed now, we must not get to a point where people begin to get a feeling that it has become vendetta.
Us versus them.
Yes. So that's why I laid that foundation for what I said. There is nobody who should not be made to account for the problem we went through with dollar, with Forex.
And problem we're still going through.
Yes, and which we are even going to suffer in the... Because what we are paying for now, which is making the naira to lose value, has been the mishandling of what we had in our reserve.
So sometimes, Dipo and Wale, sometimes don't you gentlemen ask yourselves, at what point did we become mad and we lost it and the national currency is suffering?
It's at the point where we became very greedy. That's at the point where we became greedy. He spoke about what is termed the round tripping. It's a commonplace in Nigeria. It's a common thing that happens in Nigeria. Because you have the
carpetbaggers.
Yes, you have the opportunity. You go in there, you buy especially in those years where the differential was huge. You go into CBN, you get out the dollar, you take it to the black market, you sell it, you go back. You know,
yeah.
That's at the point where wealth, acquisition of wealth that even 10 generations of a particular family or lineage can't eat up even if they don't work. It was at that point that we lost it. Because this is all about more money, more money, more money. That was why at the point when the naira was going to be changed, some people also felt happy.
When you say changed, what you redesigned or something?
That was the resign. Some people also felt, yes, it's good. They will bring out the money they have at home. Politicians.
Okay.
And we did see some money come out at that time. That even you...
Okay, you're talking about 1984?
No. Even the last one that we did. We saw money that came into the banking system that were like rags. Because people kept them at home, hoping that by the time the elections come, they will unleash it. So it's at that point where we lost it, where we lost our conscience completely and didn't care about whether the next person had a meal in a day to eat or not.
Yeah.
Not to talk of the one that we refer to as this 3-square meal. So we are in that state now that we need also to now be extremely careful, so that the foreign direct investment that we are open for, we don't create an impression that when you come in, we are going to ill-treat you. We should let the whole world know what is happening. If, like I said, you've asked me for a document for 8 years, and I give you that of 4 to 5 years, it is carelessness on my part that I can't get on a computer and just press it and I can print out those documents. Because big businesses are supposed to run on well-done documentation. You are not supposed to be waiting until give me 5 months to go and present my document.
Well, are we in trouble?
We have always been in trouble. Okay. The issue now is that, are we going to get out of this trouble? I believe if we do the right thing, and one of those things is law and order. The law that applies to you applies to whoever is minister or prime minister. But it's why you say, because, this man is a big man, we should allow him to go free. You know, in Singapore, when Lee Kuan Yew came, law and order, some ministers committed suicide.
Yeah.
In Singapore, the law has no respect of anybody. If they find that you are guilty, you are guilty. It does not matter whether, his father is a traditional ruler, his mother is this and all that. They will arrest you.
I hear that for corruption in China, a bullet to the back of your
head. It does not matter who you are. In Cuba, somebody was even supposed to be the president of Cuba was on the line. A general who was shot. So with this country, we must learn to do things. People say, oh, it's not possible. We have to start somewhere.
Yes.
We have to start somewhere. By the time you know that a governor can go to jail for crime, you will be very careful. You will be very careful. But when you just think that, oh, because I'm minister, I can pass one way, my company is so big, nobody can arrest me. What kind of country is that?
Well,
So we should inspire Nigerians to have hope.
Big trouble now, the big job now is saving the national currency.
Yes.
Dr. I spoke with, I was discussing with Wale before you came. 50 kobo was a note. I saw it. I saw the farthing. I saw the penny and the 3 pence, Toro, 6 pence, Sisi. They were all here. They were all mediums of exchange.
Yeah.
But I've said it often on this program that the way out for us is not salary increase for anybody. It is strengthening our currency.
And Wale, let's also underscore it. Strengthening the national currency means that we must make electricity to work, so we go back to production.
Everything must
So
work.
we earn foreign exchange and
Yes.
help the local currency.
Everything must work. 2 days back,
Yeah.
the biggest range producing company left Nigeria. It stopped production. So it's only going to be distributing what comes from other countries.
Okay.
So we are losing it and that's why it's important that, like you said, we must go back to production. We've been told that Port Harcourt Refinery, the test run will be completed this month.
Yeah.
So we are hopeful. If eventually Dangote,
Deepa, yeah, money is important, but time is the master here. So let's go to our next story.